If you've seen any of my behind the scenes videos at night, you know that I really do enjoy using the modeling lamps on my lights to take my portraits. These lamps are really beneficial to have, and in this video I want to go over exactly the reasons why I enjoy using the modeling lamps at my photo shoots. It's important to note that the reasons that I'm going to be going over in today's video don't really apply to bright conditions like during the day, but rather instead the exact opposite in low light conditions like at blue hour, in the studio, or at night. For anyone not familiar with what a modeling lamp is, it's just a continuous light source that's built into your studio strobe or flash. I have the Godox 8600 Pro right here to show you exactly what I mean. Here's the flash tube on the front. It's actually broken, so I'm going to quickly take that off, show you guys the LED that's in front, and actually turn on the strobe and blind you guys real quickly to show you the LED, or actually the modeling lamp on this strobe. For the longest time, modeling lamps were only on big studio strobes like this Godox 8600 Pro, but slowly after some time, they started to be introduced into smaller lights like this Godox V1 right here. The LED is actually on the top. I'm gonna go ahead and just blind you guys with this one and show you guys how it looks like with it on. I've actually used this modeling lamp on this V1 to take the picture that's on the screen right now at a photo shoot I did back in, I think, 2019. Before I continue, I do want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community filled with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people alike. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity with Skillshare. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life and all the circumstances that come with it. These lessons can help you stay inspired, express yourself, and introduce you to a community of millions. There's so many classes on Skillshare that you guys definitely need to just go to the website and check it out, because there's classes on photography, cinematography, productivity, web design, and a whole bunch of other topics as well. So definitely just go on to Skillshare and check out all the different classes that they offer. One class that I'm currently looking into is called Real Productivity: How to Build Habits That Last by Thomas Frank, because honestly in 2021 I want to be a lot more productive for you guys, and any tips and tricks that can help with that are going to be very welcome. Skillshare was made to learn, so there's never any ads, and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow where your creativity takes you. At less than $10 a month for an annual subscription, Skillshare is not that expensive at all. So if you guys are really interested in checking it out, you can actually use my link in the description area below, because the first 1,000 people to use my link will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. When you guys support the people that support me, it really helps me out and allows me to make a lot more free content for you guys. So definitely check out Skillshare and don't forget to use my link. One of the best reasons to use a modeling lamp for portraits is the ability to see exactly how the light will look before you even take a photo. I've slowly learned how to manipulate light over the years, and I can tell you for a fact that if I had a bright modeling lamp like the one on the Godox 8600 Pro, that I would have learned a lot quicker. Any of you watching right now who might still struggle with how to get the light to look exactly how you want it to should see if you own a strobe that has a modeling lamp, because if you do, you can actually get that strobe right now, go to a dark room, turn on the strobe, and just start practicing non-stop and see how the light looks like when you change its position or modify it different ways if you have any sort of softboxes or umbrellas. Whenever I do a photo shoot, I always try to imagine that the scene that I'm working in is a dark stage, and the light that I'm using is a stage spotlight that I can somehow manipulate, and this always helps me figure out where I want to place the light and also how the shadows will fall. That tip has helped me so much over the years, and I hope it also helps you as well. If you didn't know by now, our eyes tend to dilate in low light conditions, and when this happens, the black part of our eye, the pupil, shows up a lot more than the color part of our eye, which is the iris. In one of my favorite nighttime photo shoots I did years ago, I used a speed light to take photos of a model by the name of Elizabeth, and although I really liked the end results of that photo shoot, the one thing that I wish I could have changed is having more of her iris show up in the photos. This was before I started to use modeling lamps in my photos at night, so instead I had used a speed light, and because I used a speed light, her eyes needed to dilate in those low light conditions, and because of her eyes dilating, I got a lot more of the pupil showing up in the photos rather than the iris, which is what I really wanted. What you're seeing right now on the screen is one photo from that shoot with Elizabeth that I really liked, and you can clearly see that there's a lot more of the pupil showing up in her eye. In this photo where I did use a modeling lamp, you can see that there's clearly a lot more color in the eye because of the continuous light source, that modeling light being on. One of the tips that I gave in my how to shoot portraits at night video I made a few years back involved how to focus in low light. I said to either focus using the focus assist beam on your transmitter, and if that's not available, use a friend to hold the flashlight on their phone close to the subject's face so you can grab focus on them before they turn it away and you then take in your shot. While I still stand by those tips for anyone that doesn't have a mine lamp on their flashes, it's just gonna be a lot more easier and more convenient to use a mine lamp instead. You can see in this behind the scenes photo that I took at that photo shoot with Elizabeth that she's actually blurry in this photo because I was struggling to focus and I was in the middle of the street, so I was worried about my safety as well. So I just grabbed this shot and then continued with the photo shoot. Had I used a mine lamp instead that day, I would have been able to acquire focus right away and take a properly in focus behind the scenes photo. With flash photography, one thing that's always gonna happen no matter what light you're using is you're gonna take a shot and then you're gonna have to wait a certain amount of time before the flash is ready to fire again. The higher output that you use, the longer you're gonna have to wait. This is something called the light's recycle time, and this is something that's been getting faster and faster with strobes and flashes as technology advances. Whenever you see a company come out with a new light, you'll more than likely see them highlight just exactly how much faster that light is compared to the recycle time of older models. One thing about mine lamps and using them for portrait photography though is the recycle times are completely eliminated. Since you're using the light continuously, you can shoot to your heart's content without ever having to worry about the recycle time not being fast enough. And if you've ever taken photos on a bright day at full power with your strobe, then you would know the frustration of having to wait on your strobe to recycle before taking another shot. Another huge benefit to using mine lamps is the amount of power they can provide is actually better than the amount of any flash out there, specifically in low light conditions like during the night. I've been taking portraits at night for years now, and one thing I can tell you for a fact is even my smallest speed light, this mini godox light, this TT350, is actually too strong during the night. During the day, you have an abundance of light around you, and you're more than likely aiming to adjust that bright, strong light to be darker using your settings. This could mean a narrow aperture, a faster shutter speed, and a low ISO, or a mixture of all three of those settings. At night, however, you're actually using the exact polar opposites because your goal now is to not darken the light around you, but to amplify it instead. Using a wider aperture, a slower shutter speed, and a high ISO will make even the lowest output on that small speed light way too bright and will overexpose the subject. There are several ways to get around the obstacle of having too much power, but the simplest above them all is just to lower the power of the light itself. With a mine lamp, it being weaker in output than the flash is actually its greatest strength. Depending on how dark the scene is, I've actually taken portraits at night using very low outputs on the mine lamps, and those levels were more than enough to give me a correct exposure. Of course, there's other times where I'll use 100% on the mine lamps and find myself needing more power, and in those cases, it's as simple as using the flash instead because of the extra power it offers. So with a mine lamp available, I'm basically extending the amount of power my light has to offer, and that will only extend the amount of photos that I'm capable of taking at a photo shoot. If I need less power, I'll use the lamp. If I need more power, I'll use the flash. I'm a big fan of mine lamps and have used them a lot over the past 2 years. There's pros and cons to them, of course, but I found them to be a greater asset to have as it's done nothing but help me with my own photography since I started using them. If you own a flash without a mine lamp, you shouldn't have any concern or feel bad at all after seeing this video because I only meant to highlight the benefits of having a mine lamp in case you already did have one and never used it, or in case you have yet to invest in a strobe and hadn't considered what a mine lamp could offer to you. Like I said earlier, having that mine lamp could be really helpful in learning how to shape lighting. I'm gonna end this video with a behind the scenes look into a photo shoot that I did last month with my friends Joe and Sam. Huge thanks to Joe for inviting me to the shoot, and also Sam for being such an awesome model. At the photo shoot, we used nothing but the continuous mine lamps on the 8600 Pro and the 8400 Pro. I'll leave links to all the gear that was used, like the modifiers and stands, in the description area below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys had a great new year, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Think we lost all, but who will take the fall? Who will win it all? You know the cost, still you go through walls. Keep on acting small. Even if you got something left to lose, even if there is something left for you to prove, I got bad taste of hanging around you. I'm so sorry about the bitter end. I'm so sorry if try to keep it cool, bending all the rules, bending all the rules. It gets colder, but I hate being cool. I can't be cruel to you.